Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix. And yeah, I'm doing a tarot reading for the collective for the full moon in Aquarius that is happening on April the 11th. So yeah, like April 11th, April 12th. It'll be at 100% but at the 100% on the 12th is going from Aquarius and the Pisces. But yeah, here we are. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. All of the August readings are up. So the general readings are up for all of the signs, the love readings are up for all of the signs, and the money readings are up for all of the signs for August. Also, the new moon in Leo reading is up for the collective as well. Whatever reading you listen to, whether it's for your specific sign or a reading for the collective, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just the person sitting here reading the energy and the tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. Now that I've said all that, let's get into this reading. For the pre-shuffle energy, I will go over my notes and then I'll start doing the cards. So, pre-shuffle energy. One thing that came out was the Devil card, and then some of the energy that I picked up was that some of you are afraid to embrace your other side or your desires. That was something that I picked up. For some of you, you're afraid to embrace your desires because you think you might get carried away with them or you might become addicted to something. So for some of you, that may be going on. For others of you, some of you are afraid to use the devil energy. Because when people hear the word devil, they automatically think bad. Due to programming and all of this other stuff, they think Lucifer, Satan, blah, 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 all of that stuff. It's not necessarily like that when it comes to the tarot deck. The devil card is about facing, quote unquote, the shadow side. Also, this is Saturn energy. The Devil card is the Capricorn card. Saturn rules Capricorn. Capricorn is the father of the zodiac. Saturn is about discipline. It's almost like your mother tells you to clean your room. You don't clean your room. Your father finds out about it and your father is like, okay, if you don't clean your room, this is what's going to happen. Or either your father punishes you and is like, these are the consequences of you not cleaning your room. It is that discipline energy. It is that straight up, this is what it is energy. Now, going back to this devil energy, some people don't always want to embrace that because they don't want to be the bad cop. They don't want to be the bad guy. They don't want to be looked at as the villain. So they're like, oh, I'm not going to embrace that energy. I'm not going to embrace that Saturn energy. Yeah, that's fine. But the thing is that sometimes you have to. I actually learned this listening to Ice Cream Dreams when she was talking about this on her tarot. She's like, sometimes you have to be the devil in order to get something done. Because you also have to remember that sometimes people will take your kindness for weakness. And if you're not willing to step up to the plate and have those tough conversations with people, if you're not willing to step up to the plate and do the things that other people are unable to do, then you won't be able to make much progress. The key is, though, learn how to use the energy and not let the energy use you. Okay? So on that part. Also, Two of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles came out. So about decisions, juggling. Eight of Pentacles can be about work. You may be deciding what you want to work on, where you want to place your energy at in regards to work. 2 + 8 is 10. And then something was telling me that making the right choice will lead to long-term stability. There will be something where judgment is being called, because the judgment card came out during the pre-shuffle. So you may have to make the decision. You may be the one passing judgment, or someone may be the one passing judgment on you, or it could be both. You're passing judgment and they're passing judgment. Regardless, a decision has to be made and will be made. Because I feel that if the decision doesn't happen by choice, it will happen by force, is what will happen. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Also, there will be an opportunity to restore wealth too, because one of the cards, I plan on using my Korean deck, and one of the cards that came out was Shang Kyung Gong, and that particular card, it's about abundance, but also it's about the ability to restore wealth, having that opportunity to restore wealth. And in doing that, so for some of you, you may have lost something going into this full moon in Aquarius. There may be an idea, because don't forget, Aquarius is a very innovative sign. It's ruled by Uranus. Aquarians can be very eccentric too. But also, one thing about Aquarians is they're willing to experiment. They're willing to try different things. Where it's like, okay, you know what? I don't know how this will turn out, but let me just go ahead and see what happens. So that's kind of Aquarius energy. They call the Uranus planet like the wild child of the planets. So yeah, some of you may come up with this idea that helps you bring back any type of losses that may have happened previously. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Be mindful of long journeys during this period, especially with the full moon, or long business trips, because things may happen around that time with the energy. And one of the cards, I forgot what card it was that I pulled. Actually, I think it was the Shang Kyung Gong. It was about be mindful of long journeys and long business trips. So in other words, don't fly halfway across the world during August the 11th, 12th, probably for like maybe a week or two. You may want to hold off. Don't forget, Mercury retrograde is going to be coming up next month. So keep that in mind too. Also, what else? Make sure you're paying attention to detail. That's something just said to me. You may have an idea and you're like, oh, I have to do it now. Because also there's something happening where Mars and Gemini are getting together. I think it's towards the end of August. You can look this stuff up. It's available online on the astrology side. And obviously Gemini is like, you know how Geminis are. And then with Mars is about action. So when those two come together, it's kind of like, okay, let's get this done. But at the same time, if you're rushing to get something done, you may trip and fall and miss what it is that you're supposed to be doing. It's like, make sure that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted in whatever it is that you're doing, because there may be something during this period based off of the energy in the cards that requires a lot of accuracy and a lot of attention to detail is what it requires. So be mindful of that too. And then also another thing, take a short break. So that is the pre-shuffle energy. Don't forget to take a short break. Don't throw yourself into your work where you never do anything else. And by take a short break, I'm saying go outside and get some fresh air, do something, take a short trip, to maybe the neighboring city or whatever, and do that. So those are the things that I have for pre-shuffle energy. Let's go ahead and get into the main energy and see what we get. I'm doing a basic cross is what I'm doing. So I'm going to do 3 cards down and then 3 cards across, and then I'm going to look at the heart of the matter and, you know, explain the outside energies, and that's going to be that. Okay. May I have the energy for the collective for the full moon in Aquarius. May I have the energy for the collective for the full moon in Aquarius. May I have the energy for the collective for the full moon in Aquarius. What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? This Ten of Swords is coming out again. It came out during one of my quick 3 tarot readings. Cycles are wrapping up, and I feel this is happening because people are, their goals are changing. The needs in their life are changing. As our lives change, so do our needs. And Swords is air energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, thoughts and communication, where something that you may have thought about doing before, you may have changed your mind, or you want to do the same thing, you're just going about it a different way. With the Ten of Swords, it means that the end of a tough cycle is happening. And because this Ten of Swords keeps on showing up repeatedly, that's letting me know that for the collective, a lot of cycles are coming to an end and people are starting to enter the new cycle on the timeline that they are supposed to be on. Or let me rephrase that, or that they choose to be on. Okay. All right, I'm splitting the deck. What is it that the collective needs to hear? May I have 3 cards, please? Something told me to look at the bottom of the deck. The Empress. So yeah, ideas. This is going to be a moment where, for some of you, your ideas are going to help you. I remember for the reading in Cancer for August, what was the title of? I think your ideas will be your saving grace or something like that. For all of you, though, really pay attention to your ideas. Empress energy is Taurus, Libra, and Cancer energy. Venus is Empress, which rules Taurus and Libra. Empress is the mother of the tarot deck. Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. May I have 3 cards, please? Thank you. Yeah. This is going to be about self-reflection and ideas in communication. I have the 8 of Wands here. So I have the 8 of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then in the middle, I have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy. So for some of you, you may have Virgo in your chart. For others of you, there may be something that doesn't start until Virgo season, where it's like you have the idea this month with the full moon in Aquarius, but it doesn't come into fruition until Virgo season. But you're thinking it through. You're coming up with the plan. You're fine-tuning what you're doing. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. May I have another card, please? Okay, I'm taking this card because you see how it is right here? So I'm going to let it drop and take that. I don't know what it is though. Wow, you can't make this up. 8 of Pentacles. You cannot make this up. This is the second time that this card has come out. It came out in the pre-shuffle, and then here it is again. So for some, and actually now we have double eights. That just hit me. Eight of Wands and Eight of Pentacles. So this is significant change. Anytime there's a double number, is significant change. So there is some type of change happening either with your work or with what you are working on, what your actions are. Because don't forget, this is one of the fastest cards in the deck, Eight of Wands, with communication and also movement and passion. There may be something that you're really passionately working on and you're not telling anyone in the Hermit energy, because Hermit is about self-reflection. I feel like mad scientist type of thing, where you're keeping it to yourself, but you're working hard in silence is what you're doing. For others of you, again, I really feel that something may be changing with your work. There may be something where you're transitioning to a different position on your job, where you are more of a solo person. Maybe you were working in a large group before or working with a group, but now you may be transitioning in a position where it's sort of like you're by yourself and you're dealing with information is what you're doing for your job. And you're not necessarily working with others. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. At the bottom of the deck is the Six of Pentacles. This has been coming out too. This is an increase in abundance. It is stability. It is also karmic justice as well. It can also be about health too. It can be about promotion. But I feel this Six of Pentacles is related to whatever this idea is that you're cooking up. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. All right, let me use the other deck. May I have the energy for the collective, for the full moon in Aquarius. May I have the energy for the collective, for the full moon in Aquarius. May I have the energy for the collective, for the full moon in Aquarius. What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? Also, I just heard somebody might be trying to knock you off your pedestal. Whatever. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. May I have some cards, please? Thank you. And may I have one more card, please? Okay, that's 3. That's too many. Actually, no, that's way more than 3. May I have one more card, please? Thank you. All right. So I have my little book here because again, this is my Korean deck. Some of these I know, some of these I don't. Okay, so for this one, Moonjar 7. Moonjar 7 is the one that came up. And let me read it right quick. Okay, I'm going to go straight to the key words. Results are coming soon. Darkest night before the sun rises. What everyone has forgotten about is revived. Second attempt is rather more effective. Good things will happen if you do not rush. Didn't I tell you need to take your... Wasn't I just talking about that? This is confirming the same thing, paying attention to detail. The longer you endeavor the more successful you will be. So this is you seeing the results, and they're coming soon. And it's also saying darkest right before the sun rises. Again, some of you have been going through a tough cycle with that Ten of Swords energy when I had split the deck, but that's being closed out. This is saying that the results are coming in with this Moon Jar 7 card, is what it's doing. Now, at the heart of the matter with the Hermit is the Queen Dowager. And that, I'm pulling that up now. So the Queen Dowager is at the heart of the matter. It says, help from a classy older lady. Has to be on the lookout in the midst of a peaceful life. Must seek permission from someone. Meeting up with a very discerning person of insight. A superwoman who can successfully manage multiple tasks. Enjoy a green old age. What appears on the surface is not everything. I'm going to read this again for the Queen Dowager. It says, help from a classy older lady. Has to be on the lookout in the midst of a peaceful life. Must seek permission from someone. Meeting up with a very discerning person of insight. A superwoman who can successfully manage multiple tasks. Enjoy a green old age. What appears on the surface is not everything. So in other words, don't judge a book by its cover. And this is so random for me. With this Hermit card here, I'm hearing two things. I'm going by don't judge a book by its cover literally, where there may be information in a book that is actually very helpful, but you may be like, oh, there's nothing in that book that can help me. I can tell by the synopsis of the book. There's nothing in there that can help me. And I can tell by the cover and the synopsis and so on and so forth. I feel for some of you, again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. There may be an actual physical book that you might be dismissing, but that actual physical book might have a ton of information that will help bring insight, Hermit energy. Virgo. About self-reflection. Another thing with this older classy woman, the Queen Dowager, I also feel with this Virgo energy here, this could be someone who is a Virgo, or they might have Virgo in their chart. So this older lady might be a Virgo who has this knowledge, and she might be the key to bringing whatever you're working on together. 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Now also, as I'm looking at this, somebody might be working for an older woman. That may be going on too. I don't know. Okay, that was so random. I heard something about handling finances, like handling finances in secret. Or whatever. Like you're the bookkeeper or something, or maybe they only trust you to talk about their money. Is somebody an accountant? I don't even know if that would be an accountant. Maybe tell me in the comments if that's resonating with anyone. But it's like this older lady, you might already be working with her on her finances, like helping manage her finances. I don't know why. There may be some communication coming in regards to that too. about finances and you're the one helping her with them. Or she might be seeking you out for your help with her finances in the sense of organizing everything. And that might be the thing of somebody might be dealing with the audit, like with the either state government or federal government. Someone might be dealing with an audit. That might be why going back to paying attention to detail, and it requires accuracy. Somebody's more than likely dealing with an audit is what's going on. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm covering a bunch of timelines here. But for those of you that is resonating with, this older woman who might have Virgo in her chart or might be a Virgo, she trusts you a lot. She trusts you a lot. Now, it could be the other way around, that you are being audited and you're going to her for help. To help clean up and get everything organized in regards to your finances. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Okay, let me do the final card here, which is Toho Royal Winter Game. Toho Royal Winter Game is what this card is. And let me read what the keywords are for this card. Pull this up. Keywords: seemingly a big deal, but actually not that serious. Better to just focus on the game in front of you right now. It may turn out to be trivial, extraordinary in the ordinary, meaning in working together. Take some time off and relax. Your happiness is up to you. Didn't I mention that some of you need to take a short break? This was just the confirmation of that. Also, this is saying don't make a mountain out of a molehill. I'm going back to this audit thing for some of you, where if this is resonating with you, some of you might be thinking that this is more serious than it actually is, even though if it's an actual audit. Yes, audits are serious, but at the same time, it may not be as bad as you think it is for those that this is resonating with. For others of you, there may be a situation that comes up, because don't forget, we have a lot of energy happening over these few weeks in Leo season, which is fire sign. Then you have the Leo's Gate, which I will do a reading for the collective for the Leo's Gate. August the 8th. You have the full moon in Aquarius on August the 11th. So you have that happening in all of these other things. Uranus is going retrograde at the end of the month. Gemini and Mars are doing their thing. There's lots of energy going on. It could be easy to get caught up in the energy and be like, oh my gosh, and become overwhelmed. What this is saying is that, hey, it's not that serious. It's not that deep. You might need to take a break. You might need to step back. You don't want to turn a mountain into a molehill. That's what we're looking at. As for the title, I have no idea what I'm titling this reading. I may not title it anything at all. I had a title in mind at first, but that title doesn't really match the main energy. It matches the pre-shuffle energy, but not the main energy. So I may not title it. So yeah, that is your reading for the full moon in Aquarius. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Until next time, be blessed.